Welcome. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. I don't know about where you live, but here in New Jersey, even when being ordered by the government to stay home, here in the studio it is bitter and it is cold. Not exactly an ideal way to be spending Easter weekend, but then again, neither would it be spending it in a hospital being tested for this wretched coronavirus. No, I would much rather be spending it at home in my own kitchen, rolling up my sleeves, washing my hands thoroughly, and cooking. That's the best way to warm yourself up, mind, body, and soul. And especially during these troubling times, who better to turn to than America's Test Kitchen? You know they're near and dear to my heart. So much so that we have 2 more ATK videos on deck after this. But for right now, we're going to turn our attention to the best simple recipes, purchased for $4.99 and for 50% off. More than 200 flavorful, foolproof recipes that cook in 30 minutes or less, and really, that's it. But boy, do we need those type of recipes right now. Other than the preface by Christopher Kimball and the welcome message from ATK, and helpful ingredient preparation and substitution tips, and smart shopping ideas, that's all there is to it. Simple, straightforward, fast, and easy recipes. That alone makes this worthy of being placed on your kitchen countertop, and definitely earns a spot in your library. We're going to be reviewing it in conjunction with the Fast and Fresh Recipe Card Collection from 2007, which really looks like a paperback Pinterest board. 96 suppers in 30 minutes or less. Purchased for $1.99. No discount for that, but hey, for $2, you can't argue with that, really. There is no new technique that you're going to learn in this cookbook that you haven't already learned from America's Test Kitchen or from someplace or somebody else. And this is really the most basic ATK cookbook I've ever profiled so far. As basic as it gets. But it does nothing to take away from my fact and opinion that it earns a place on your kitchen countertop. We're going to be highlighting 2 very traditional Easter offerings, lamb and eggs. Lamb in the best Simple Recipes book, and eggs in the Fast and Fresh Recipe Card Collection a bit later. But because we are TSR, we like to do things a bit unconventionally and out of the box, we're going to be offering them up with a bit of an exotic flair. For example, skillet pasticcio. Why this recipe works. By the way, all the recipes in here serve 4. For the streamlined approach to the classic Greek baked casserole known as pasticcio, we cook the pasta, meat, and sauce all together on the stovetop, the meat being 1 pound of ground lamb. The liquid from the canned diced tomatoes, plus a few cups of water, provide enough moisture for the noodles to cook through and create a sauce all at once. And in place of the usual fuzzy bechamel sauce, we add heavy cream to the meat sauce for similar richness. While lamb is traditional here, 85% lean ground beef can be substituted. Here is just one of the examples of helpful ingredient preparation suggestions. How to assemble the pasticcio sauce. By the way, also in this space you'll find great side dishes with no photographs to show for them. How about another unconventional lamb offering for this Easter weekend? Middle Eastern pita sandwiches. This sandwich echoes the flavors of its more labor-intensive cousin, the gyro, or gyro, or hero, the G being silent in that case, which is made by tucking minced lamb that has been slow roasted on a spit into a pita with grilled onions, peppers, and a yogurt sauce. Our simpler version features ground meat patties in a pita round with a tangy yogurt sauce. To help keep the patties moist and tender, we grind the unused top portion of the pitas with lemon juice and seasonings and add the resulting paste to the ground meat. Kind of a panade, if you will. Way to be resourceful and use up some of those scraps. We prefer using Greek yogurt, which is thicker and creamier than regular yogurt for making this sauce. Served with tomato, lettuce, and feta cheese. No photograph for this. But here is one of the smart shopping suggestions here in this book for Greek yogurt. Phage. I believe that's phage or phage. How do you pronounce this? I should tell you that in this book, as with the Fast and Fresh Recipe Card Collection, that some of the ingredient brand recommendations might have changed over time. If you want an updated analysis, you'll have to log on to their website, Cooks Illustrated or AmericasTestKitchen.com. Most quick recipe collections promise a lot but deliver very little. Bland, uninspired dishes may be fast, but will you make them again? and clever gimmicks sound great, but in reality they rarely make much sense. The team at America's Test Kitchen has created more than 200 easy-to-make 30-minute recipes that guarantee impressive results with a minimum of effort. With a little test kitchen know-how and relentless testing and retesting, we found ways to make naturally fast dishes even faster, and traditionally slow-cooked dinners a weeknight option. But one thing we never did was settle on shortcuts that shortchange flavor. Some compromises simply aren't worth making, and a few extra minutes of cooking translates to time well spent. No matter the path taken, every recipe in this book is foolproof, full-flavored, and fast. It's time to make weeknight dinner interesting again. Full-flavored, fast recipes that go beyond the ordinary. How about steamed salmon with asparagus, spicy pasta and sausage bake, an herb-crusted steak with potatoes, and sautéed pork chops with pears. And they also offer vegetarian main courses. Retail price, $26.95 US. As basic as it is, I have a saying around here, basic can be beautiful. And all in all, this is a beauty, both inside and out. Now, onto the fast and fresh recipe card collection. This time, we're focusing on eggs, but have a look at this cover again, and I'm sorry for the lens moving. That was not my doing. That was just the work of the camera lens. Maybe a ghost haunted it, I don't know. Now is not the time to get paranormal. Come on, we have a lot of things to deal with. If you're not into eggs, well then, they run the entire smorgasbord of main courses and side dishes and what have you. Chicken, beef, pork, pasta, and seafood, plus soups and pizzas. But again, we're going to focus on the eggs. Traditionally, soft-boiled eggs or hard-boiled eggs are served for Easter, as would be roasting a leg of lamb for Easter, for a giant Easter feast, but obviously, you can't due to these circumstances. And again, we are TSR, so we like to do things unconventionally, so no hard-boiled eggs here. We have hearty scrambled eggs with Texas toast, spinach, potato, and bacon frittata. Bacon! I pray to God we have no shortages of that. Corned beef hash and skillet strata with asparagus and boursin. Hopefully I could give you a clear shot of all 4 recipe photographs without the transparency that my single lamp in here causes. If I hold it at a certain angle. So, quick rundown. You get the recipe photographs on this side, and you get the recipe itself with ingredient list instructions, smart shopping suggestions, and helpful ingredient prep tips and serving suggestions on this side. Every recipe in here, as with the best Simple Recipes Cookbook, serves 4. And towards the end, you get a helpful buying guide for supermarket ingredients, top-rated brands from the Test Kitchen's up-to-date blind taste test. With that in mind, shout out to Jack Bishop, the tasting lab expert on America's Test Kitchen and the brand's chief creative officer. All of the brand recommendations here, I will remind you again, might have changed ahead of time. Some, if not all. Public television's most popular cooking show. Join the millions of home cooks who watch our show, America's Test Kitchen and Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen, on public television every week. For more information, including recipes and program times, visit americastestkitchen.com. The back certainly hammers home my opinion that ATK is certainly very popular on Pinterest. By the way, another shout out to Milk Street. Of course, Milk Street, like America's Test Kitchen, is needed more than ever before. Christopher Kimball is not irrelevant. Why should he be? Why should any of these guys be? Adam Reed, Bridget Lancaster, and Julia Kahn-Davison. Their work is paramount, more than ever before. Yes, they may be competition, but America's Test Kitchen and Milk Street share the same principles and ideals as we do at TSR. We are all united to make social distancing more fun. On their side, more tasty, and on my side, we do it on a budget. So for the best simple recipes and fast and fresh recipe card collection from 2007, they both are awarded 4.5 out of 5 claps for a total of 9 out of 10. Who says you can't rip off a delicious and definitely fairly unconventional Easter feasts, within reason. Especially when America's test kitchen behind you. As we like to say in Jersey, forget about it! Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the flip side.